Scorpio 2022, do you think that indicates this person's star sign and year of birth? Or their favorite Mortal Kombat character and year of birth? Seems unlikely on both cases. Okay, I was gonna go with a dummy Gambit, but we had a request here for something with Rook A3. So we're going after this knight, and I know this is a line. With Rook A3, and then even after E6, just giving the rook. Yes. Okay. And my opponent hesitated, so they actually probably don't know this unless they're playing me. Just giving the rook. So I know the idea of Rook A3 should be to, like, swing this across. I've seen the late, great Emery Tate play this, actually. But we're just going to give the rook. Let's go. Thank you to whoever recommended I play this on Viewer Says What I Play Arena. Alright. Alright. Maybe pawn takes A3 made more sense there, but we got the Gambit glasses on. They don't have their dark square bishop. Let me just immediately take advantage of that. I think knight A6 was a little short-sighted, actually. I think this might have been an immediate blunder. Okay, well, they had king F8. That's actually their only move. Alright, wait, but we've got resources on resources here, because bishop G5 here is a move, okay. Got ideas and ideas. Let's jump in here. That can't be bad. Cannot be bad. You want this pawn, you can have it. C6 you don't have. I assume that was why they went here, to keep the C pawn flexible, but I can't imagine letting me come in there. Their knight is defending C7. Okay, they're playing this, which I thought was bold, because bishop G5. Well, an idea I had that I didn't even see last turn was queen moves and then bishop F6. Is that possible? Alright, let me play this to start off and let me think about things. F6 I can't imagine you play. Takes check and you just lose. So, okay, yeah, I had a couple good ideas. I like this. Okay, wait, bishop F6. It's very compelling to me. Wait, they also gave this pawn, so the thing is, if I just grab it, then you, like, take A4, and, like, okay, I'm pretty exposed over here. I'm thinking about this. Take, rook G8, queen H4, rook G6 forced, right? Yeah, bishop D3. It's actually very compelling. Yeah. I don't know. We already got the Gambit glasses on. Let's keep things spicy. The other good move was just like H4 and adding resources here. Okay, pawn takes, right? Threatening queen G7. They're not well equipped to defend this. In fact, that's why I wanted their queen to go here, to get in the way. Takes. So rook G8. Oh, they went for this. Interesting. Surprising. Spicy. What do you got? Okay, rook G8, queen H4. Yes, this is the right square, because I need to guard F6. I need to threaten here, so rook G6 I think is the only move. Right, and if you stop your calculation there, I lose. In fact, I might lose either way. But if I take H7, it takes, and you're escaping to E7, because I'm not having a ton of development here. But this just feels like immediately targeting that rook, which is the only thing really between me and checkmate. Stopping this entrance, and that's also why I went to H4, so that I guard F6 in this position. And also why your queen is misplaced right now. It can't just take F6 right away. So, and none of these other pieces feel like they can do anything to me. Enjoy your little box over here. I'm looking over there. So king G8 seems logical. The rook is still not a threat to move. No, now they want F takes G6, and if I step in, then queen F7. What I would need there is knight G5 to slam the door. Okay, so let's do that. We need more pieces. We need more pieces. Pieces we can do. Yeah, so any rook move, then now H7 is the game. This was smart, because you need this, and now queen F8, right, to step over. Interesting stuff. Maybe I'm losing here. But my idea now is takes. Queen h6 gets parried very effectively. So here f takes knight g5. h5. No, they would lose if I had another move. They can resign. Because h5 I have f7. Forking. So the knight on g5 is very effective. In fact, e5 I can just ignore this. Takes is check, doesn't matter. They will still lose. So they need queen f8, if I am correct. If queen f8, I probably need to take that rook. Because if knight g5, they have queen h6, which is a good move, as I understand it. Otherwise, takes f takes g6, then knight g5, then h6 or 5, then f7. Might run out of steam. If I play knight g5 now, yeah, queen h is a good move. It is a good move. I wish I were lying, but I'm not. But I have to take this rook, because queen h6 is a good move. And I found all the right resources. So here, and then f takes. Okay, but I was trying to win right away. And, okay, I can't, because I don't have any other pieces to help. I don't have enough pieces to help, rather. h6. f7, king, g7, and kind of out of steam. I need, my knight is too far. I need something else. I don't have it. Alright, yeah, I would also have wanted h4 here. Potentially a good idea is just like queen g5, h4, h5. Even a better idea than castling. Alright, we're really saying take anything you want over here. I want h4, h5. Because, like, if I castle, then I move my rook again, and then I would have to move my rook again. Like, then what's it doing? No. The rook's route into the game is here. It's right there where it is. So the knight still did useful things by being out there and forcing them to go, like, here, 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 right? Okay, not the most productive moves. Obviously, they want these guys in the game. And I didn't sacrifice too much. What am I down here? Oh, because I sacrificed an exchange at the beginning. So I am down a full piece. Okay. Again, not obvious what you do, because my idea is actually crystal clear. I just want this. You can fortify g6, but I will be activating my rook. I'm sure the engine will say black is winning here, but it's not obvious. You are up a piece, but your pieces are not doing a ton. So you're up a piece if you consolidate, which could be a big if. My idea is very simple. Okay, they're doing that. Makes sense. Will I take it right now? They're just bundling up. Here, h6 is probably quite annoying. So I should take it. And then come in rook h6. We're just going all out right there. And then knight h4. I don't know. Queen f7, knight h4. We just pile up right there. Why not? Why wouldn't I do that? So the king maybe should run. Might not be a bad idea, because my knight actually doesn't have these squares. If the king runs, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw in a resource on this side of the board to try to give myself knight e5. Didn't run. I have this. It's a draw. Or is it a win? It might be winning, but it's too much to calculate. This is winning? Yeah, I win. I win. I got him. Queen takes. I have just this. It's this even easier. This. Rook g6 or rook h8. Okay. Could have won quicker, potentially. Okay, they seem a little stuck. Seem a little stuck, but we got him. I mean, for all intents and purposes. Wait, no. I don't want to get forked. I need quick moves. This is good, if I can do it. takes king f3, no forks. Mate. Nice. Wow, good game, fun game. This was a good opponent, but we gambited, and it was a really interesting game. Thank you again for recommending that I play this. All right, wait, let's talk about this opening, because I actually don't really know this. Okay. Wow, we have a lot to discuss here and a lot to analyze. I don't know. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head where exactly things went south for black. Wow, good stuff. Okay, we had an Alekhine variation, which, by the way, in a vacuum, I recommend to people even before I became the Gambit man. Just like, good opening to play. Like, you'll know it better than your opponent. It's simple stuff. Just like, get this knight out of danger. D6, G6, bishop G7, castles. Hit the overextended pawns. Simple stuff to play. Not a lot of ways that things can go terribly wrong from it, as I understand. And something spicy to do. Okay, c4, knight b6. The idea of this, the Tate variation, named after the late, great international master Emery Tate, is this move a4. So we played c4, we're playing a4, trying to trap this knight. Now, okay, if they ignore us, a5, right? The knight is out of squares. What black should do is to play a5 to just stop that, and now it looks like we've just created a big hole right there for this knight or bishop or whatever to jump to. The point, though, is that we now play rook a3, and what I thought the point was after that was, like, to swing it around in some lines to, like, g3, and which actually halts the development of black's pieces here, threatening here. Alas, this is actually not so good because black can just chip away at the center, and we've done something weird. So objectively, it's not so good, but okay, this was played before engines, and it's spicy, and you throw your opponent off guard, not obvious what to do next. What we were recommended is the Gambit. It is Andrew Tate's father, Emery Tate, yeah. E6, D4. D4, just letting that rook hang, and my opponent takes the bait, right? You can actually see it's a good Gambit, and you can tell because the gap between bishop takes a3 and moves after that this is not large, right? So they take a3, and after knight takes a3, what they don't realize is you've put your pawns, central pawns, on light squares, and with this pawn all the way to e5, that's a very important dark square bishop. It's a very important dark square bishop, and you can see, so knight a6, it's already a blunder, even though it looks like pretty clear. Okay, where else is this knight going? It's going to hop to this b4 square, where it's an outpost that can never be kicked. But after queen g4, this is already very frustrating for black to deal with, because g7 is hit. If you play g6, you'll lose your queen. That's how bad your dark squares are. You'll just lose your queen right away. It's trapped. Otherwise, castles, bishop h6. Okay, at minimum, you'll lose the rook, but it's probably worse than that. I don't have to take the rook, and I'll play h4, h5, and come checkmate you. Mr. Matt Bader, thank you so much for the donation. Sorry to miss you. Go Gambit Chads. Appreciate you. Queen to g4. So king to f8 was really the only move to defend g7. So already, that's a big win for me. That's a big win for me. And we continue to keep on the pressure here with this interesting move, knight b5. Okay, it's recommending just knight to f3, which makes sense. I did need that move going forward. Like I needed more pieces in this attack as we launched it. But we went for it, right? If I give black a few moves, okay, they play d6, they make this trade. That queen is open onto me. She might have some squares. It would be scarier if this knight were on c6, I will tell you. Because pressure here and pressure here would actually force me to do something about that. It might even force me to take, and then e5 would be another resource, but not that I want to give that up at all. Knight b5 just felt like it made sense. Where else is my knight going to go? But things were more urgent to get towards the king. And this knight didn't really do anything for me most of that game. So you play your d6, logical move to chip away. But here's where we start to go for it. So bishop to g5, and they slide over queen to e8. Right? I don't know where else you go, really. Queen d7 is not where you want to go, but potentially that was a better idea. F6 here, like I was saying, just take, and check, and queen comes into g7. So queen e8 played, and bishop to f6 is actually a terrible move. Oh, man, it was a terrible move. It was a terrible move. It hates it. I don't know, but what does Stockfish know anyway? It was a fun move. It was a fun move. Yeah, okay, just knight to f3 and keep things going, bring out pieces, try to get towards this king. We have a lot of compensation, and we're actually not even worried about these pawns here, because if we can get to the king quick enough, then we get to it quick enough. I don't know. Also, okay, bring the pawn to h6 could be fun, if, you know, you don't want to sacrifice the bishop. Bishop was quicker. Bishop was quicker. So we brought it there. Why is this bad? Because it seemed very spicy in the game. Takes f6. Very clear idea. Your pieces are out of position to deal with your issues on the dark squares. I want to get you on the dark squares. Okay, rook g8, only move between me and checkmate. Queen to h4, rook to g6. This is all correct stuff, as I see the eval not changing. This move. I see. Yes, they can actually recreate that square. And I'm out of steam here. I don't have any other open files. Whoops. In the game, rook g6. So, you know, my opponent did what both he and I calculated. Play your bishop to d3. Targeting that rook. That, yeah, if it moves anywhere, I will win the game. Here, takes h6, and checkmate. So you can't do that. Bishop rook just needs to sit there and die, which means that I haven't sacrificed too much, although the eval is still minus 2.2. So my opponent playing queen to f8. The thing is, my opponent became very scared of me, right? Like, I think what they needed to do at some moment is launch some sort of more direct defense, and when they become kind of scared of you, because I played this, hey, I sacrificed the rook over here, I sacrificed the bishop over here, right? Here, I was actually down a full rook. Okay, I'm getting exchange back, so it'll only be down a bishop. But it really helps, because it allows me to do whatever I want, kind of without them doing anything to me. So I really like that. A lot of this is kind of a psychological game also. So I now have to take this rook, as queen to h6 was coming, and they're bringing over the queen to patch up their dark squares. F takes g6, but they haven't had the opportunity, because they've made a lot of queen moves, they made a lot of king moves, made a lot of rook moves. They haven't had the opportunity to bring these guys out, right? But if they do, like here, it takes c4, and they take this, they open this up, right? Okay, then I won't have any resources. Queen to g5, it was a logical move to play in blitz. Like, I wanted this, and to get to h7, and, like, throw in that check, but it would kind of be, as Daniel Naroditsky calls, one-move-itis. Or even here, two-move-itis, right? Like, oh, here, I have a mate threat. Oh, fun check, right? Looks great. There's no follow-up here. I don't have anything in this position, and I'm completely out of steam. This knight needs to move. There's nothing better. The knight just needs to move. And then they just take this. So, yeah, you need to have, like, an actual genuine attack. Queen g5 was, like, the most logical move to play here, because, okay, we're holding f6, and now my idea is just crystal clear, and it especially makes sense in blitz. h4, h5, open that up. Those are gonna be my next two moves. What are you gonna do about it? So my opponent plays bishop to d7. Their grand plan was to play bishop to d7, bishop to e8, which is not a bad idea. Not a bad idea, because that is what I'm going to do, and the bishop was doing nothing. So, okay, I come here anyway, and yeah, here's where kind of being scared helps, because my opponent made a mistake here of just, like, playing bishop f7, just, like, trying to patch up. Their idea, I think, was bishop f7, and then, like, if, like, knight h4 to play, like, queen e8, right? Just, like, keep defending, don't look at ideas for myself. They do have a couple very strong moves. One that I'm realizing right now is knight to d7. Just knight to d7, and their next move is queen takes f6. And I think here, like, they can hold off long enough for queen takes f6, which is going to be a very effective defense. Just threaten something of mine. Other ideas, yeah, h6, right, which hits the queen enough, because they got the bishop there, enough to be able to play g5 and straighten this out and not allow a pawn trade, which would bring my rook into the game. And yeah, I'm out. It's like I just need another piece. But I don't have it. My rook is still too far out of the game. And so they should be able to patch up here. Okay, king h7 was actually more effective. In the game, bishop f7, and all it took was one mistake. This is their first mistake of, like, any kind, really, in the whole game. Okay, knight a6 wasn't the best move, which was an inaccuracy. But they made a mistake, finally, and it lets me into this game. So I play h takes g6, and they have to move that bishop again. And now here we come, just pouring onto that bishop, right? If I led with knight h4, I think queen f7, and then not obvious how I follow up. I need my rook on h6. Right, you can imagine this position. You'd love to play rook h6, right? So do it first. Do it first. Even though there's actually really no threat, my opponent now just making moves. Hard to recommend what to do. Because I'm piling up here, right? You just take something here. It doesn't change anything. I think, could you play knight d7, or would you lose? I think with rook d8, what they were trying to do, right? Because knight d7, I think there's take here, and knight g5. And here, now I'm threatening queen h7, checkmate, and knight f7. Right, so if queen g8, for example, which is the only move that doesn't get you mated, or knight takes f6, whatever, I have knight f7, and you have to take it. What they wanted with rook d8, this is why they're not stupid, right? Rook d8, I think this is a very smart move, because you're looking at this position, and you're being like, what saves me here? It's this move rook d7, guards f7 and h7. I think that's why they did it. It's hard to, yeah. I was looking at that idea too. Fortunately for me, this is still winning, because I have this move f7, cutting the rook. This is what I was calculating during the game, and I'm like, I don't have enough time. I play here f7, so I'm threatening this again, but I was looking at this, but this is just, yeah, I cut my calculation off here, but this is mate now. Right, so f7 here just ends the game. Very nice stuff here, and now just checkmate. Nice stuff. So, in the game, though, I opt for the more safe option of knight h4. What I'm seeing here, I'm just not sacrificing, and I'm just going to crash through. And this is still winning. This is still enough here. They play rook d7. Yeah, so that is their idea, to try to patch along the 7th rank, but they just have no defense. Now your only 7th rank defense is, unfortunately, for you to lose that rook. And here I'm able to take it, threatening rook h8, so you have to lose your queen as well. Check, and I was able to pick off that queen. And, okay, this was just a practical choice, just throwing my pawns at their king, and stayed away from any forks or any trickery here as we won the blitz out. So a really fun opening, and in fact, this might become my new go-to, because I play a lot of dummy Gambit, and it's gotten a little too popular. It's so many people. Okay, I'll tell you something. So this has happened quite a few times now. Like, people come up to me at chess tournaments or chess events or whatever. They're like, hey, oh, you're William Gray from YouTube. I'm a big fan of yours. Love your gambits. I'm always like, oh, that's great. Nice to meet you. What's your name? Blah, blah, blah. What's your favorite gambit on my channel? Which one do you like to play the most? The most common answer I get, it's not like the Bushcast Gambit or the Von Poppeel or Von Hennig or any of these others, or London Crusher 9000, any of these others that I like worked really hard on, and I feel like they're, you know, really interesting, innovative ideas, playing with the move order, contributions to chess theory that I'm really proud of. The most common answer I get is the dummy Gambit. People love this one. People love this one, even though I literally named it as such to remind you that it is for dummies. But it's this line, I'll show you. It's with here, bishop takes f7 check, here in e6. There's a lot of, it's fun. There's a lot of ways for black to go wrong. In fact, every way other than the best way, they can go wrong. There's some fun checkmates here, where, okay, king here, right, they gotta stay tethered. Okay, here we can mate them like so. This is already checkmate. Okay, king h6, there's queen e3. A lot of ways for black to go wrong. But the best way for them to defend with here and here, against this checkmating idea, it's a refutation of the line. It's just straight up a refutation, and you're just down a piece. So, you know, you're statistically likely to do well, but I can't in good faith, as like someone who people actually listen to, continue to recommend this opening so much. But like, keep having fun, live life. The other ones, like, you know, for me, there's so much garbage in chess opening recommendations on the internet, especially things that are in my sphere of like, here's cool sacrifice checkmate in 7 moves. Like, how many times have you seen this video on the internet of like win in 7 moves with the England Gambit, and it's like this line, oh my god. Like, if you just need to tell someone one move to make, I just need to tell you, give me 5 seconds of your time and I'll refute this line. Play knight c3 instead of bishop c3. Then your opening is bad, okay? and that's true with the dummy Gambit, right? The lines I recommend, like the best moves, the refutations are A, extremely hard to find over the board. B, not even full refutations. Like, the worst case scenario is you're down a pawn still with compensation, right? Like, you need to actually address the best lines on your channel. Of course, what I'm talking about is this. Oh, checkmate in 7 moves. Yes. It's garbage. Don't do this. So there's a firm line in the sand, as firm as lines in the sand go, between that tricky trappy stuff, which I don't recommend if you're just like playing hope chess, right, with genuinely aggressive, fun ideas where it's good opening content if the person there is actually going over the best, like literally, if I were the other side, what would I do? Here's what you do against that, right? Like, that's how you need to make all your decisions in general. Attacks work because of overwhelming resources, not and you know, practical decisions, yes, but not because we're just hoping for them to just completely miss something. So this is an important stuff, and I think it's genuinely true with this opening here, because queen g4 is a very strong idea no matter what. Like, they don't have the dark square bishop in this position. How are you defending against that? You need to be extremely precise in this position, and white should have a lot of fun. So I think this is actually a really fun one. And otherwise, like, okay, if they don't take this rook, I think the rook can be quite effective. So I like this stuff. I like the Alekhine. I like these gambits against the Alekhine. Those are my thoughts in general. Obviously, there's a lot more to discuss. Appreciate you all. Keep gambiting. Keep gambiting. I stand by all the content I put out. I take the responsibility that people actually listen to me very seriously, right? And so I work hard on it. Like I've shown you guys 1/10,000th of the stuff I've checked. There's other great YouTube creators and people, other people with great ideas, and a lot of other great openings out there. A lot of those people are in my Discord. who keep, you know, recommending studies and openings and gambits and discussing them and trailblazing chess theory. All of that stuff is great. I'm just saying I work very hard on this with databases, Lichess, or Leela, Stockfish, etc. So, yeah. Anyway. That's my 2 cents. Something's getting me mad.
William Grave, the Gambit man, takes his seat at the board. E4. E5. Knight F3. Bishop C5. The Bushgas Gambit on the board. On with the Gambit classes. Hero pod unlocked.